random, but like apparently on their trip to Seattle in Canada, right before you guys went, Dad discovered and now wants for his birthday Bailey's Irish Cream. I'm like, what? This is new to you? Like, I was like, that's what me and Nick drank when we went to Italy, like right the summer after me and Robert were in Europe. I was 18. Like, he's like, I love it. I'm like, cool. Okay, I'll get you some Baileys. But I just thought it was really random.
It must be genetic because 2 weeks ago I was like, I am craving Bailey's Irish Cream, and I never do this, but I went out to the liquor store and I bought the handle of Bailey's Irish Cream. So then, first night they're visiting, I pour myself a Bailey's Irish Cream, and I didn't know that backstory. I had no idea that Dad had discovered this the week before, but he's like, what is that you're drinking? I'm like, it's a Bailey's. He's like, oh, okay. He didn't ask for one or anything, but I didn't offer one. I didn't think to. I didn't know he was addicted to this stuff.
Yeah, I guess they had it on the train. They had a like beverage cart, and you could get free alcohol. You know, they would never pay for a drink, but he had a Bailey's, and they came back, and Mom was like, get it for his birthday. That's what he should get him for his birthday. I'm like, okay, I'll buy him some Bailey's. Like, okay, cool.
So Andrea's family, you know, they do the big Christmas Eve fiestas.
Yeah. Doesn't Lauren make a homemade Bailey's or?
That's exactly where I was going. They make this homemade Bailey's. It's just in the standard, like we always make the stuffed clams, and we always make the stuffed shrimp, and we always make a homemade Bailey's. And I drink the homemade Bailey's, and do you know what's even better than homemade Bailey's? Baileys. Like, that stuff's okay, but like, why would we go through this trouble of mixing coffee grounds and stuff when the stuff out of the bottle just tastes better?
Yeah. When people like make their own eggnog, I'm like, no. I like eggnog a lot. I want the full fat eggnog, but I'm never gonna figure out how to make it. I don't want to, like, it's almost like hot dogs. Like, I don't really want to know what eggnog is like. That sounds gross to me.
I know. You have this suspicion that it's like mayonnaise is an ingredient or something. And like,
right. It's too much raw egg whipped around. I don't know. Where I'm gonna be like, this seems like it should be cooked or something. I don't know.
And the stuff from the store. Well, I find there's a huge variety of eggnogs from the store, and I'm with you. You got to find the richest, fullest fat that you can. Do you also find that although you're supposed to mix it with brandy or whatever, like it's just better if you don't mix it with alcohol?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll occasionally humor people and like, okay, give me the booze or whatever, but I'm like, can I just have a regular one? I just want nutmeg on top. Yeah, that's it. Like full fat. Like when I know that Andrea is often a fan of the low fat or reduced fat options of things, and I'm like, yeah, please. There's just a line I have to draw in the sand right now. Like, we're drinking eggnog. Like, this is basically melted ice cream that we're drinking. Like, that's what I want. And I don't want it to be low fat at all.
You're not supposed to drink it in the first place. So if we're being bad, we might as well
go all out. Full throttle.
We don't get the low fat chocolate bars and the low fat ice cream and whatever. You want the rich, delicious stuff. But you gotta have the nutmeg.
Absolutely. I have overdone it, and then I'm like, this is like really too like it's too earthy something. Like, feel like I dumped dirt in my drink or something. But yeah,
it's an art. You gotta have enough nutmeg, but not too much. And sometimes you're pouring it and just like, a clump comes out or something, and you got this.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit.
You got this layer of nutmeg floating on the surface of, it's like a continental divide, and you're like,
I'll have like seems to land mostly in the middle. Like, I can't get an even smattering of it, and so like then I'll just continue to rotate my drink, so like I'm pulling the middle bit, like stretching it out over time, try to get just the right sip. Yeah, eggnog's the shit. I love it.
This is important discussion. I don't know why this came to mind, but we were talking about you before your financial literacy. So we have a friend who recently had a baby, right? And Andrea brings up, okay, have you started contributing to the baby's 529?
Hmm.
And this person had never heard of a
Like,
529.
yeah.
And this is a well-educated professional woman. And there was a little
Hmm.
bit of like, oh, my husband handles the finances, but there was
Hmm.
also I was like, I mean, that was a reality check for me that there's a lot
Yeah.
of people out there. It's like saying you'd never heard of a 401k. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't know how, like, I don't know exactly how much money I should have in my 401k right now if I'm supposed to be on track, whatever.
When I think about our friends who have never heard of 529s and have no idea how much they should be saving in 401k, I got interested in all this stuff because I didn't want to work. You know, I got these jobs.
Right. Yeah. I want my time and the money.
I'm at 3M and I'm absolutely fucking
Mm,
miserable, and I'm like, I want to do this for as short a time as possible. How soon can
yeah.
I retire? How much do I have to save to get out of this as fast as possible? And every time Her Majesty would plan a trip or buy a new car or
Buy a new
upgrade,
house.
buy a new house or renovate the old house or whatever, I'm like, you are imprisoning me in my job spending this money. I literally had these emotions, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Hmm.
so I'm
Yeah.
amazed. I'm like, I guess the people that don't save and spend like it's their job, like they must love their jobs. But I don't pick up on that either. What I
Mm-mm.
find, it's more like people kind of hate their jobs and then they spend all the money to buy things that give them a moment of, give them some
Hmm.
dopamine to help them
Right.
tolerate life. And it's like, this is a sad, sad cycle.
Yeah, it really is. And like, I think that it's very much an ostrich kind of mentality. It's like, I don't want to think about like, oh, I need to be saving this, or I shouldn't like maybe maybe today I shouldn't go out for like happy hour because I'll end up spending $40 when I could just go home and have dinner at home, whatever it is, one of my friends they get in fights all the time that the husband's always on the wife about how we're spending, but he eats lunch out every
Yeah.
single day. Minimum he's spending $15 every day on this. So let's do the quick math, not to like get involved in other people's relationships.
Yep.
Do as you please. This same friend had an inheritance that she blew, and when the story was told to all of the circle of friends from the husband, he made it sound like she spent their entire retirement money, that they like that all their money. And I was like, I would murder someone if they spent all of my retirement money. I'm single, but I'm like, man, thinking about like tying myself to someone and then blowing all of it gets me flustered thinking about someone spending all my savings. Like,
No, my reaction is much like yours. Like, I would murder this person. I literally felt like it's a prison sentence, right?
mhm.
Okay, is this trip worth going to jail for another 30 days at the end of your prison sentence or whatever? Because that's what it would cost.
Yeah.
Again, if I go on a $5,000 trip today, in
Hmm.
40 years, that's worth $50,000, making this up. But,
Right.
is this trip worth going to
Hmm.
that's which I could live on for half a year. So is this trip worth going to jail for 6 months? If it is, great.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
On a
And
micro level, I do that same thing. Like if I'm out and about and I want something to drink, I'll just suffer because I won't spend like the $1.75 on a soda because I think it's ludicrous that a single whatever. Actually, it's much more than that now. My friend bought one when we were at Home Depot, and it was like almost $3 for a 20-ounce soda. And I was like, I just bought a 6 pack of these 20-ounce sodas for like 350 because they were on sale. So yeah, I will never do it.
but they weren't
That,
cold. That's the
that's true.
difference.
They weren't cold,
And right
but
there at
right.
the
That's yeah.
checkout.
It's the a lot of money is spent on convenience, I
I'm so
think.
glad you
And
brought up soda. I have to tell this story from our parents' visit. I come down one of these afternoons and to chat with mom and dad who are hanging out in the kitchen. And what is mom drinking?
Spark
A
Zero.
Mountain Dew Spark Zero. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Do you understand that those are the last 12 Mountain Dew Spark Zeros on the planet? oh my
Yeah.
God. You know, and she's like, well, what do you have them for? You don't drink them. I'm like, I drink them once in a while. She drank 2 or 3 of the, like one a day for 3 days. And okay, so I'm like, all right, we got to rectify this right away. What is it that you want to drink? Because she wouldn't drink she doesn't like Diet Coke, so she wouldn't drink our Diet Cokes, which we have 35 of in the fridge in the basement or whatever from Costco, where they're not freaking crazy. Diet root beer, right, is her drink of choice. So I go to Heinen's as part of a broader shopping trip. This is not the place you go to budget shop
No.
diet root beer. But I'm like, I'm buying, no matter what it costs, I'm buying a 12-pack of diet root beer. So I buy this diet root beer. It is $9.50 for the 12-pack. And I come home, I put it in the fridge. And then what does she do? Drink another Mountain Dew Spark Zero.
I like she did say in the she was like, I had some of your Mountain Dew. I was like, okay. Like she was like telling on herself. But I swear, so I don't like the drinks that they tend to choose, whatever. I'm not a diet Fanta, like they choose weird shit. And so I'll leave some of my sodas there, right? But they're like dedicated to drinking all of my drink. They're like, oh, well, we need to get rid of these. And I'm like, why? Can I have 6 sodas here, like that just stay in the fridge? The mini fridge that I bought them that they did not want, but they now are
use the shit out of
could not live without. And like that's full of all of your sodas. Can I just have this small space, please? And you not drink my sodas? You don't even like them? Man.
It's like I don't know why, but it makes me just think of a bird feeder or something. Like I put them there and they just can't resist. They got to drink those sodas that you don't even like.
Every time. I'm like, why?
Do you suspect it's mom or dad? Is it dad just going, I don't
No, it's
know.
mom. It's mom. Yeah. Like 100%. Because so she likes using margarine. I have come to like using butter. And so I leave a stick of butter at their house, right? 1 stick. That's it. And I have to basically bring a new one all the time because mom will just be like, oh, we need to use this up. I'm like, you don't need to use it up. The whole point is that so that I can have one of the things that I like. I come over every week, multiple times a week. Like, it's not like just leave it there for, when Robert comes to visit at Christmas or Thanksgiving or whenever you guys right. Come down next, like, we have to save this for Robert. It's not like that. I will be here in like 3 days. Can you not drink my sodas, please? Like, do I always have to bring a little cooler with me so I can make sure that I have a drink that I like at your house? Like,
unbelievable. So I saw some amazing good news for us politically, Kalyn. I'm going to share this news article. Here's the headline. Both VP contenders like Diet Mountain Dew. So no matter who we pick in November, one or other of them is going to be a Diet Mountain Dew drinker.
Thank God.
Let me tell you, my favorite part of this whole story was this guy, Andy Beshear. He's the governor of Kentucky. And he, as soon as J.D. Vance did his thing that kind of got viral about saying he liked Diet Mountain Dew, Beshear's like, who the hell likes Diet Mountain Dew? Well, it turns out Kentucky is the state in the union where they consume the most Diet Mountain Dew per capita. So he had to like freaking backtrack about like picking on Diet Mountain Dew because his state.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna lose voters. That's funny. Well, I'm glad to hear there's some good news on the political front that either way we're gonna win. Mountain Dew in the White House for sure. Yay! Well, I mean, assuming some libertarian. I actually do really want to hear more about this.
Since you're our target audience, Katie.
I know.
Yeah, that's exactly the
kind of what would I do? We don't need what would Jesus do bracelets. We need what would Kalyn do?
Well, you know what Kalyn might do? She might start the show. So
yeah.
Hang on. Don't start dancing yet.
Uh-oh.
All right, now we can start dancing. Cue the music. think we want it louder. Bring it down. You are listening to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. Today is August 15th. This is episode 17. I am Robert Kimmel. I'm your host. This is Kalyn Kimmel, my co-host, and my sister. We have this podcast. It's kind of sort of about money, but not really. We're mostly here to talk about Diet Mtn Dew and having a good time. And maybe we learn a few things by accident on the way. We want to welcome you to your commute home this Friday. Katie, I'm talking to you specifically. We probably didn't even record the stuff that would help people understand why I'm referencing Katie, but... Kalyn, do you have anything to tell the good people out there on their sorry commute home on Friday?
Get your Mexican candles out, because we need some luck. We need the gods working on our favor. But they would definitely tell you that this is not financial advice or investment advice, so don't listen to us for that.
Sure not.
Just for fun.
And there's a few other behaviors that I highly recommend, and one is that you smash
the like button, and subscribe, and send this to everyone you know.
Yeah, I think this is definitely something you want to send to all the obscure people in your phone book and be like,
Absolutely.
Hey, I haven't seen you since you taught me second grade, but I really think you should watch this podcast.
This is for you. And, go ahead and bring it into work. Send it to your work email so that you can send all to the whole company.
All of your clients, everyone.
Yeah.
That
totally appropriate for any audience.
That big account you're trying to land, at the bank.
It'll be done. Done once they get this video.
Oh, for sure. So
Mexican candles. So you need the combination. It works in conjunction.
Of the two, really, the Mexican candles are probably more important because this is not only terrible financial advice, but it's also terrible career advice. Kalyn, you mentioned us needing some luck and us not providing financial advice, and you are going to have to brace yourself here. It has been a wild ride on the stock market these 2 weeks since we last met, and our Get Rich account is an absolute dumpster fire. The carnage has just been brutal. We are down 13.5%, which, as you recall, is an underestimate because of Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Chicken soup for the fucking soul.
Yeah, well, now they're kind of the least of our problems because at least they're in the past. But you know what has been absolutely terrible is our Denison Mine options.
Oh, no.
Which is now
What happened?
Well, they've dropped to 8 cents against our investment of 15 cents. I'll tell you what's happened. Uranium has been a disaster, Kalyn. I'm telling you, I have the anti-Midas touch. Anything I touch turns to shit. First Spirit Airlines and now uranium. Uranium is down like 20%. So really our heroes are Chewy. He's just killing it.
Always, yeah.
Wow. True. Nice bet on True. Wow. I wish I had made that one in real life. But if I had made that one in real life, I would have made these other dumb ones in real life too. So
yeah. So what has this taught us? Maybe best to just use dummy money.
Yeah, for sure. Use dummy
Leave
money.
the money in a CD or a Roth account. That's where money belongs.
Maybe we should dump the whole portfolio and start over. Except for Chewy, which is our path to riches.
Yes, that's true. Chewy and True.
We never took a deep dive into Denison Mines, right? So I'll pull that up. Why not?
Yeah.
Here's their webpage. They have cool pictures of mines and stuff. They have this really great video. Here they are. They're in the Athabasca region of Saskatchewan, which I didn't know. I didn't know that Saskatchewan was like a perfect rectangle.
This is up where no one lives because it's freaking cold as fuck.
There's like 500 dudes with trucks and beards.
And beards, yeah. Who are like, I'm a man. And I'm mine uranium in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man. Like, don't fuck with me. Give me a whiskey. You know that doesn't hurt when I fucking run over my foot with my car. Because I'm a man. Look at all this testosterone. Yeah.
I totally
Freeze
envision
hole.
the guy like the door of the bar swings open and the
Yeah.
whole bar the
He's
crowd
like,
all turns and it comes in from the blustery winter and he like comes
yeah.
up to the bar. He throws a bag of coins on the actually it's
Mhm.
probably uranium
Yeah.
in a bag.
Right. He's like, whiskey. Leave the bottle.
I work
I'm a
for
man.
I work for Denison Mines.
And he's like, who the hell are you, young buck? You just showed up here last week. I've been here 35 years.
You think you can make it in
You,
Saskatchewan?
you don't know anything yet.
It takes a real
Like,
man
just, I'm a
to mine the
man.
uranium. Well, I think what it takes is,
Yeah.
yeah, give me the real man pose. This might be for the shorts later.
Yeah. Like, just be bigger this way. Oh. Like, don't ignore that part.
That's the tricep. That's the tricep.
Yeah. Man. Uranium is radioactive, right?
It
Or
is.
yeah, so like you can't just send people down with like their pickaxes. Yeah, like a dude with no shirt and rolled up pants and a belt with a pickaxe. Like,
We're totally sending
yeah,
Paul Bunyan down there. It is
right. Like a guy's like, I'm a man.
I'm
Give
in
me a whiskey. I'm
flannel
fine.
shirt.
This radiation sickness is nothing. Like, I'm
It's
fine with it. My brain tumor just is bothering me today.
It's the cost of being
Like,
a real man
yeah.
is a brain tumor.
Yeah.
This guy's totally.
Yeah.
Well, basically, I was trying to do all the math because you remember our option. It's got the price of the stock has got to be $5 for it to make any money, and the stock is at like $2. And basically, I was like trying to do all the math of like, okay, how much, and they do the math for you. They're like, this is the NPV, the net present value of the Phoenix deposit is like $2 billion. And this is not their only deposit, but I added them all up and I was like, basically uranium's got it. The price of uranium has got to like triple for that option to be good is the short version of that story.
And right now it's undervalued. So we need to like triple in a little.
Well, right. It was triple when we bought it. So now it's got to be like 6 times the price. But
well, who knows? Maybe it'll be like Reddit for us. We never know what Reddit's going to be doing stock-wise. Up, down, up, down.
Yeah. It's like, why are we even bothering with this stupid thing? But anyway.
Yeah. I feel like every stock I really try to think about and be smart about what I buy, that's the stock that loses money. So those are the ones where I'm just like, I feel like buying Netflix stock or whatever. But, it's the long view. Like, I don't know. That's what I tell since I don't sell anything, this works out very well for me. But I mean, obviously I'm not headed towards day trader status since I don't sell. But
since you don't even know what the options are for buy on your app, you're not like,
I'm like, I don't know. I just know buy.
It's buy, and then you got like, what kind of buy do you want to do? And you're like, I don't know. I just want to buy.
I don't know. Just go proceed. Whatever you choose. You figure it out. E-Trade. I don't care. Like, I can't be bothered with all the. Stop it. Stop with all the questions. Like, just buy stuff. I don't. No.
And then they're like, you can't buy this thing this way, and you're like, well,
I'm like, what? What the hell is wrong with this app? Like, why do I trade on this platform? I'm gonna go back to.
and you're like, once again, I don't care. If I can't buy it that way, I'll have it buy the other way. You choose. Way. I don't care.
I want to buy $20 of this thing. Make it happen. Go.
Do I have to do all the thinking around here? I mean, come on, E-Trade.
Do I have to call them myself and be like, excuse me, how many partial shares can I get for $30?
I got these gifts in the mail. Thank you so very much.
Hey, yes.
This is amazing. I see that it's this one's from Hobby Lobby. You didn't buy this at Hobby Lobby, did you?
I did get it at Hobby Lobby.
Did you buy this one for yourself as well?
I did not buy that for myself. I bought that for you.
No, but I meant
That's
you bought
okay.
a second. Did you buy a second one of these? Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, I no, I didn't. It's so ridiculously large. Like, why is it so big? I mean, you could just go, just perfect.
I'm gonna put
Yeah,
on my
that's
lip
it.
balm. it's
Yeah,
it's
I need
basically
a bomb.
it's it's a it's a bingo dabber for your lips instead of dabbing them.
So, does it taste or smell like Mountain Dew to you?
It does. It does taste a bit like Mountain Dew, and I have to say it is delightful. I actually
Good.
quite like this Mountain Dew. I would
You'll never
endorse.
lose that thing.
No. I'm gonna put this in my purse, and I'm gonna daub my lips with Mountain Dew whenever I feel like I
Whenever I think about Vance and the White House and Waltz, what was the other one's name?
walls. Yeah.
Walls, yeah. Good.
Well, I think this is delightful. I will say this: I never use lip balm ever. Like never.
It's for the best. Apparently, the lanolin in it, if you get in the habit of using lip balm, then your body basically adjusts and won't produce as much of the moisturizing stuff on its own.
I'm not surprised by that whatsoever. I'm just not. It's one of those products
Yeah.
you get hooked on it, I guess. It's like sometimes when I drink a Gatorade, I'm like, I'm thirstier now that I've drunk this Gatorade because of the salts or whatever.
Right, the electrolytes, which are salts. It's so funny to me when Gatorade's like, oh yeah, balance, replenish your electrolytes. I'm like, first of all, there are very few people that are working out so hard that their electrolytes need rebalancing. You're not pouring out sweat just like gallons and gallons where you like have salt crusting all over your body. That's when you maybe should be worried about that. But the average, hey, let's go do some pickup basketball. Your electrolytes are fine.
Yeah.
No worries.
Here's what we should do: is we should tell Andy Bashir, the governor of Kentucky, that he should start taking on Gatorade. Because I bet Kentucky is not one of the top consumers of Gatorade. Just speculating.
Yeah, probably not. I find that actually with sodas, if I wake up in the morning and I drink soda, then like all I want all day is soda. Like I don't want anything else. But if I drink water or coffee or any like regular drinks, then I'm fine with not drinking sodas. I don't know. Once I get that sweetness, then I'm like, that water sounds terrible. So I'll drink like 6 sodas in a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Like too many sodas. And like without as many diet options these days, I'm like, that's a lot of sugar, especially when I'm drinking Mountain Dew, which is like 260 calories a can or something. I'm like, this is my 4th today, so I guess I shouldn't have dinner.
If you would just be like JD Vance and Tim Walz and drink Diet Mountain Dew instead, you'd get the same.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I had a regular Mountain Dew.
Oh, right. So you get all the flavors, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should see if I like the OG or the Diet OG.
But they'll never discontinue that, it seems like.
Apparently not. They've come out with another like Liberty flavor or whatever. 50 flavors in one Dew. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I gave that dad's drinking that. I don't even know how many flavors are supposed to be in Mountain Dew. It sounds disgusting. I'm like, you guys came up with a bad tagline and then made a second version of it. Every time I go to the store, I feel like Mountain Dew is new soda. Like their R&D department, they're just like, what can we make? Let's pick a color. What? Purple. Okay. Major grape. Mass produce it and then cut it off. Now there's a red one. The girl at the checkout was like, hey, have you ever had the Baja melon one? I was like, is that the one that looks like pea? And she was like, yes. I was like, that one was really good. And she was like, they stopped making it. I'm like, man, what is Mountain Dew doing to us? Yeah, I had this whole conversation with like the girl at Kroger, and yeah, we really bonded.
That Mountain Dew R&D department does not realize that they are leaving in their wake a trail of disappointed Mountain Dew lovers.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart.
You fall in love. Yeah, exactly.
I will say, look at how many different Mountain Dew products I have fucking bought. I'm trying like every flavor that comes out almost. Trying to get back to the original Spark Zero, but
God rest its soul.
Still, their aim is it's working on me because now we can order them on Amazon for $40 a 12-pack.
I've got to find out who is the $40 12-pack buyer.
Yes, and send them a strongly worded letter. But
cut that shit
out. You need to get it together. Don't you selling it? You're an asshole, and you buying it? What the fuck?
Don't you know you're
There's others.
You're imprisoning yourself in your job for an extra 6 weeks buying this
Do you
$40.
love working? Do you love having somebody tell you what to do? No. But you're signing up for more and more and more of it.
You know who loves working? Saskatchewan guy.
Andrea.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah. I'm a man.
No.
That's all I do is work. I just like to make money. And I do that by mining uranium.
Actually,
Saskatchewan.
he actually, I have to say, he probably
Drinking whiskey.
He doesn't love working. He probably hates working, but he hates everything more. You know, just hates.
Yeah.
He was like love's got nothing
I don't have
to
one
do
of
with
those pansy jobs in some office sitting there typing. Nah, I'm a man. I'm out here with my pickaxe.
Alexa,
Whatever.
play Phil Collins.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, what's the funniest thing that Pickaxe Man could listen to? I think it's Phil Collins.
Like, Kenny G.
He gets in his car and he's like,
he's like, please play Mariah Carey.
The Pickaxe Man and his beer just sinks into his happy place. And
a meditative
day at the mine
aura,
complete.
like sits in.
He lights a few candles
as he listens to Whitney Houston sing, and I will always love you. He's like, I know you will, Whitney.
Tears running down his face.
Rest in peace. Why'd you have to get on crack? I miss you, girl. I loved you in The Bodyguard.
And then his buddy opens the passenger door. He's like, what are you doing?
He's like, what are you fucking doing? This is my truck.
Who put it on this station? I don't...
What the fuck? I've been trying to fucking figure out. Get at them. You want to fight? Let's fight. I need to punch something real quick and listen to Whitney Houston.
My estranged daughter sent me these candles. They're not mine.
Yeah, I don't burn sage. I was glad you brought up oil stuff because I have the scam of the week is actually related to oil. So you probably know of John Rockefeller, right? Who started Standard Oil.
I've heard of him.
Maybe familiar. Yeah, so I don't know if you know what his dad did, though.
Scam
he
people?
Sold snake oil.
Get out.
He sold snake oil. For real. Yep, I found this. I was like, oh, shit. So, yeah, this is what he was. He was a salesman of snake oil, amongst other things, apparently. But I just thought, since we did the scam last week, might as well just go back to the
like literally snake oil that people like use.
Yeah. Where does this snake oil salesman phrase come from? No surprise, this is still popular today. Chinese water snakes. That's still part of Chinese medicine. They say it's good for stuff. The viper oil started getting popular across America, and there was no regulation until the 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act. So they basically started testing things, and one of the first things they tested was the Rattlesnake King, Clark Stanley's snake oil. They found that was made exclusively of mineral oil, capsaicin, so it comes from hot peppers, and then turpentine. So he was the first person peddling snake oil. He was taken to court and whatever. He pled guilty, even though he's facing like a very long potential sentence. He paid a $20 fee, which in today's money, by the way, is $560. And so, yeah, we have Clark Stanley to thank for snake oil salesman trope. When we refer to people as a snake oil sales, whatever, or things as snake oil, it is because of this guy, really. But at that time, all of those fucking snake oil things probably had almost no snake oil in them. So apparently there is real snake oil that you can imbibe.
So when I go to the gas station and I buy a snake oil tincture, you're telling me it might not have snake oil in it?
It might not. I mean, if you buy it in China, though, apparently it really could. The Chinese medicine is crazy. I mean, So the white rhinos are basically going extinct because in Chinese medicine, if you grind up the horn of a white rhino, that's like good for virility or whatever. We're just driving this species into the ground.
Also, we can get erections.
Yeah, we want to be men. We want to be like those men.
Oh, you think Saskatchewan guy is taking white rhino?
Yeah. No. I think that the dudes in China are like, that's who I want to be like, Saskatchewan man. drinking whiskey, listening to Mariah Carey.
Because Saskatchewan man needs no help getting an erection. Not that he
No.
would know, because he hasn't been with a woman in
mean-
40 years. He hasn't even seen a woman, but doesn't like women, doesn't want to be around any women. But if he
like,
did,
women, they're just ball and chain.
if you had like let's say you had a Crackle movie where a woman goes up to visit.
She's like in an apron, like stirring gruel or something in a cabin.
I was thinking it's the woman. She doesn't love her job. She's living in Chicago, got this hard job down at the bank, and she gets a letter that she's inherited a cabin in Saskatchewan. You know,
like, sounds charming.
And she's like, something terrible happened. She just wants to get away from it all. And who's her neighbor but Saskatchewan guy?
He's like, hey, little lady.
We don't like your con around here. We're trying to mine uranium.
My God, I bet you didn't even bring your own turpentine to heat your stove. Well, women always just mooching off men. Where would you be without a...
Right. Then she does something surprising, like she fixes her own roof or something. Or she's the one who changes his spare tire or something when he has a flat.
And suddenly he hears in the back of his mind Mariah Carey singing. And he's like, the stars and hearts are around his eyes. No. And he's like, I don't feel those feelings.
And then,
but I love her.
The key next scene is the fiance from Chicago comes and visits and can't understand.
The fancy man. Yeah.
Can't understand why she won't come back. She missed the office party, and what is she doing to her career? Being up here in Saskatchewan,
making biscuits and gruel for her.
And then he gets chased out of the tin roof bar, and he slips.
The fancy man from Chicago.
Yeah, in his wingtips out in the mud parking lot, he slips and he stains his Armani suit. And
then a bunch of guys sitting at the bar like, damn Southerners from Chicago, from down south, wearing your Patagonia. I just wear hay that I sewed together. I don't know. Or I wear a bear skin that I've killed with my bare hands. I wrestled it to the ground.
And then, it's got to end one of two ways. Like, she decides she's going back to Chicago, and uranium miner man has to chase her to the airport. He has to get over his emotional suppression, and he's got to,
He doesn't just drag her by her hair back to the...
No, he can't have that. He's gotta drive to the airport in his beat up old Chevy and
he's like, Rachel, listen. I need you.
I don't know how to say this, but
yeah.
Or
got it.
Now the other alternative option, she's got to go back to the airport one way or another, but maybe at the airport the tumor appears in his lungs. He's at the regional hospital. He's too proud to call her, but she decides. I don't know. She either learns about it or she just decides she's got it.
It's she just has a feeling, and they're so connected.
And then she turns to Tim, right, and she says the following: "I just can't. I can't. I can't, Tim. I can't go. I can't do it.
I can't.
I belong
I gotta
here.
go see. I belong here with Buck. He's a simple man, but I don't know. Now I'm making her sound all sudden.
I know.
He's a simple man, but now I understand him.
I do declare.
I need that man in my life with his grizzly.
No, that isn't it.
We should have AI animate this for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Buck.
There's the alternative endings. Either Buck's in the hospital dying. Then he regains strength when he sees Rachel. Or he goes to the airport and he's like, I don't know how to say this. But Rachel, I need you to stay here. I never knew what my life could be. Something. I don't know.
It's so good. The snake oil salesman, this is the part I really clomped onto, was 1906, the passage of this what like this is the
Food,
creation.
pure food and drug, yeah.
It's so hard to imagine. I mean, it's
But
not
I thought it was interesting. I couldn't believe that John Rockefeller's dad was a snake oil salesman. Literally. John Rockefeller didn't grow up super wealthy. He had two goals in life. One was to make $1 million or $100,000, which today is like $3.6 million. And the other goal was to live to be 100. And I'm like, fuck that. I do not want to live to be 100.
no.
No, our parents are fine, but like, man, once people cross over into like the old and can't take care of themselves, I don't know. Pass.
Well,
Skip.
I have a couple of thoughts based on that. So, one, from where I sit today, I am still in the mode of wanting to live forever.
Yeah.
I have seen, like, Betty used to show this video of this guy at his 101st birthday party, and he's leading the conga line all around, and he goes for a run every day, and blah, blah, blah. So that version of 100, I'm cool with. The version of 100 where you've been in a wheelchair for 12 years, and they come and turn you twice a day so you don't get blood sores. Not only do I not want that, but we've talked about this before, I think. I just have this open question of, is this good for society? I mean, I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, unplug all the vegetables. Even the ones that are like, don't know who they are. Our grandfather, right? For something like 12 years, he wouldn't remember anything. He's a perfectly nice guy. You'd have a lovely conversation with him, but he wouldn't remember who you were, or he didn't remember his own kids.
I mean, I know my friend Ashley, her mom had Alzheimer's and then got dementia really bad, like couldn't speak for the last year. It was slow, awful. And, you know, she had long since said her goodbye to like the mother that she was connected with in reality.
A very common form of Alzheimer's is they're afraid or in anguish or whatever. So they don't have physical pain, but they're living there in... they're living there.
There's psychic pain.
Psychic pain. I'm sure a lot of us can understand the euthanasia for people that are like, I'm in constant physical pain. I got to end it all, right?
No, I'm with you though. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, listen, it is your prerogative. I'm not like, go kill yourself, people. But if that's your life choice, then so be it. I'm not one to like stand in people's way of this. And I think that certainly for people with degenerative diseases, how about giving them an okay, peaceful way to exit left? Like if I found out that today was the last day that I'm going to be like Kalyn, and it is going to just deteriorate and deteriorate badly, and I'm going to be afraid, and I'm not going to know anyone, and I'm going to feel really unsafe in the world for the next however long. Maybe I skip that and like leave this world not feeling like I don't know where I am. So my friend Claire's grandma just turned 106. Like, she has like 3 rotten teeth, but they can't do surgery because she's too old and she'll die if they do surgery on her. So she just has bad teeth that are in pain all the whatever. But like, who can save? Like, I can't save enough. I don't even know how much money to save to live to be 106. That's too old. I'm not working long enough to support my life. That's how we're deciding when this life is over. When the money runs out, I'm done. Bye.
Boy, Kalyn, if this segment didn't make your car ride home much more entertaining,
super lighthearted and fun.
I don't know.
So like, yeah, when are people actually dead? We're like, they're not really there anymore. Can we just kill them? Like, and then they're just out of the way. Like, just like, it's hard to find it's hard to find apartments. Can we just kill all these old people who aren't contributing anything? Oh, they're so tiresome. They're like, oh, I'm scared.
You can totally imagine our listener in the car home listening to this again,
being like, oh, this is hilarious. Man, you guys laugh riot.
I love the Robert and Kalyn show. I am going to forward this to all my business colleagues.
I am sending this to my boss today. Check this out. Hilarious.
All right, we got business to do. Do we have a gummy bear update?
I have it right here.
The backstory is you have to go back and listen to episode 9 or 10 or something. Yeah, and this is where we bought this 5-pound bear, which now we're running out of extremity. For those of you listening, Kalyn just bit the nose off of the 5-pound gummy bear.
Right. So we're down 2 ears, 2 legs, and now the nose. It's very good.
This gummy bear is a frightening sight, the kind of sight you would see in a Saskatchewan ice house.
When you're a real man. That's why I keep this gummy bear around trying to get a man. I'm like, maybe if I have a 5-pound gummy bear, then a real man will show up in my. Man, I want a gummy bear.
I think it's your week for a podcast recommendation, Kalyn. Everything fell on you. Somehow they all aligned where it's like you got scam of the week and, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, we didn't talk about stocks, though. The one I was going to pick was one that's gas people.
Are you talking about the what the hell's in Kalyn's portfolio segment? Because
that's right.
We could do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a part of the show we like to call What the Hell is in Kalyn's Portfolio? She doesn't know, so we're going to find out in real time.
Yeah. So the ticker is LIN.
LIN.
So Linde PLC is a United Kingdom-based industrial gases and engineering company. They serve a variety of end markets such as chemicals and energy, food and beverage, electronics, healthcare, manufacturing, metals, and mining. So they have countless applications, including production of clean hydrogen, which I'm like, what does that mean? How do you make clean hydrogen? What is dirty hydrogen? And how do we make hydrogen? Doesn't hydrogen just exist?
Well, we're gonna find out when we research them, I guess.
I'm not sure if they barter in helium, which, as you know, is the most near and dear of all the noble gases to my heart.
Of course, as it should be.
Bottle that shit up. We can figure out how to sell this stuff that's just floating around and man.
I'm amazed by this stuff, so maybe we'll learn more about it when we research Linde. Let's look at the chart, which I don't know why this chart looks so bad, but they're doing great today, up 1%. Past 5 days, up to 2%. Having a good run here. 3 months, up 5.5%. 6 months, 9%. Year to date, 11%.
Yeah, I'm up 200% on these.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, so that was a good one.
So you bought it more than 5 years ago. Let's see what the all-time chart.
Yeah, I bought it a while back. Yeah.
This is an inverse Kalyn chart right here. You should have shorted these guys. That would have been.
No, I just had a feeling. I was just like, you guys do stuff with gas, and your name's Linde, and you're UK.
I'm all about it. Bye.
All in.
Wow, up 200%. Good for you. All right. I look forward to investigating that one.
That made me think of something. I know you Harvard folks, you know some big mucky. Who's the biggest person that you've known that's now famous or uber successful or whatever?
The person in our class that became famous is Sal Khan, who did Khan Academy. You don't know him, but everybody with kids knows Khan Academy inside and out.
Oh, the math, the tutoring places? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All of that stuff. And he's mobbed up with Bill Gates and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get connected with people. So I traded emails with Meg Whitman, who was governor of California for a time. And she was, I'm going to screw this up, CEO of Yahoo or something. Yeah, not Yoohoo. Not the chocolate drink.
Yahoo. Sadly, she was CEO of Yahoo, not Yoohoo.
Because that would have been See, no wonder people come here.
Company.
This is the podcast you come to learn a lot about. We get all our facts straight about who the CEO of Yoohoo was. The chocolate drink. So
that's the most famous person my brother knows, the CEO of Yoohoo. Yeah.
After Sal Khan, of the people that became famous, I think Chris Dixon is probably next, and you wouldn't know him either, but he's the biggest crypto guy there is. So
right, huh?
So when I go to people that are investors or work in finance, or then they're like, oh, Chris Dixon, oh. Anyway, he was a dick, which is probably why he's so successful.
It sounds right for a crypto guy, anyway.
Well, that's why I think he was so successful. I was in negotiations class with him, and he was just like, how do we not just do well in this negotiation? How do we crush the opposition and make them run and scream from the room, wishing they didn't have to cut this deal with us?
Negotiating with terrorists.
That was Chris Dixon, and it was well, we could lie to him. We could all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm more like Mom. I think I'm negotiating more like Mom, where I'm like, I just want everybody to be happy.
Yeah. Kalyn, you can buy the car for $5,000 or $6,000. Okay, you guys just name a price. Okay, $3,000.
So Chris Dixon and I are in this simulation. We're the management of this manufacturing company, and the other group of students is the labor union. And so we meet and we negotiate, and then we go offline and discuss our strategy. And Dixon is just like, how can we make these guys not only not get a pay raise, but take a pay cut?
Pay cut and take away from, longer hours, less money, more misery. We want men working here.
Yeah, that's it. Chris Dixon is into the man thing. You've stalled long enough, Kalyn. Do you have a podcast recommendation or don't you? Answer me.
I do. It is not really related, but I've been really into Sword and Scale. Like, actually, this is related to our dark-ass talk earlier. Yeah. It's like true crime by like the most dickish guy. The host is like, he's always hating on his fans. He's like, yeah, you idiots who like leave voicemails, whatever. Like, some people like to drink Diet Mtn Dew. Other people have actual taste. And I was like, dude, why are you doing it? Like, why? And people like to take him on, but anyways, he's very entertaining. There's gobs of true crime podcasts that so I really enjoy it.
So he talks about a true crime incident, like he'll talk about a crime, but in the process of this, he'll just hate on his...
Yeah, absolutely, all the time. Like, he's like, so, Robert grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where a bunch of hillbillies live, and drank Mountain Dew because he was backwaters, and, you know, some of you disasters of human... Like, he's such a dick all the time. Every episode, he's got some comment for, like, one person called in or something and was like, I think you're sexist. He's like, yes, you women, simple-minded females
bird brains
who think that everything is sexist and coming at, and I'm coming for you. Listen up. I don't care about you. Now, the rest of you people with actual brains and Y chromosomes or whatever. But I don't know. It's really good. It's really good. So... sometimes it's fun to listen to dicks talk about murder. Or dicks like us talk about finance and other stuff and death and how we should get rid of all the old people.
Folks, if you're looking for a show where the people are dicks and talk about money and murder, you have picked the right place. You're listening to Robert and Kalyn. Get rich. Let's cue the music and let's get out of here. Here we go. Yeah. This has been Robert and Kalyn Get Rich, a production of Get Rich Media. Thank you so much for listening today. If you like what we do here, why don't you please rate us, subscribe, leave a comment, send us an email, robertandkalyngetrich@gmail.com. Kalyn is spelled Kalyn. What else should they do, Kalyn?
They should send this to everyone you know and like, subscribe, repost.
And above all else, remember one thing, this was not financial advice. I know it really sounded like financial advice, especially when we were pretending to be the guy from Saskatchewan. I invest in... What does he invest in?
Invest in uranium, because I'm mining it.
I got a pile of nickels in my back lodge.
Sissies just mine for gold, I mine for uranium.
So if you're looking for dicks who talk about killing people and mining for uranium and keeping a bag of nickels in the back room, you've found the right place. Until then, we'll be back next week. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.